stand here and look outside. I'm not sure why they would put RF radiation devices here, but I'm just going to stand here and look outside. Look at the landscaping. Look at the pine tree. Look at the palm tree. Oh, there's nothing they can do about it. Time for some of the caravan of domestic terrorists to leave. No, you'll know when they fly by. here. When it goes popping, that means VIPs are coming. The VIP terrorists. They're coming! They're coming! Just do that. Just do that. They're coming. They're coming. That means 118. Operations Center 118. You're on call. Get your devices ready. Watch where she's looking. Hear ya. Totally hear ya. Totally hear ya. That would be the anti-Semite controls over here. Must be a skeleton crew. Must be a skeleton crew this morning. It is Sunday. Sunday at 7:30-ish. 7:37. Must be time. Some of the caravan of domestic terrorists must be on the move. I'm going to put a call out for the military people who've worked with directed energy weapons. I'm going to put a call out on Rumble. There has to be at least one who can tell me all about this technology and how its application is not supposed to be in an apartment or a vehicle. And then a lot of people, whoa, I'm using the real equity court. I'm not wasting my time with that statutory shit. We're going to equity court. Get ready. Get ready. All right.
about the subject
8:21
I'm going to
a.m.
get into today. Again, this
Was
is
that
more of a
that way?
specialized subject on how to get into court, but that's where you go get that. And let's see, what else do you want to cover? Website issues covered. So let's go through, I'm going to review a couple of things that are changes to the member areas that you have access to. So I just showed you that's, again, this document I'm showing you is under the downloads on the Premium Member page. But if you're also a Delete Debt course member, we made some substantial updates. And these updates will, there are some things that have been taken off. So hopefully you've downloaded whatever you need if you're already in this course, because we did some significant
The wall
updates.
here behind the TV.
Videos are not really redone. They don't need to be redone.
8:21 a.m.
But we get down here to this section, the course material and documents. All these sections are brand new. So you might want to go back and review it. I know if you've been through the whole course, it's a lot, but this is actually condensed down to quite a bit less material and fewer steps and a faster process. We just really examined what we had, threw out some material, added some material, condensed it down quite a bit. And so these are what's been posted. I think they're all pretty good in terms of being proofed and everything.
The weapon of mass destruction that is the incapacitator is on me here. And of course my laptop is sitting over
Like I said,
here.
it's much crisper, much faster. You're going to go.
You
much
can hear what's
quicker
on the
to
laptop.
enforcement. You're going to go much quicker to an offer, and you'll see how effectively that can work. And then there's the documents, the enforcement processes, where you're going to learn how to start a suit or get into arbitration more quickly than before. A lot of people say, I don't want to go to court, I don't want to file a suit, but the bottom line is, guys, you'll probably need to in some cases, because they will ignore you. I tell you in the course, expect them to ignore you.
My eyes are being targeted right now as well.
What does it say? I don't know. What is it? What's
I
the
can
next
feel
section in the course? That's what I usually end up
they are
saying,
being
is go back to
targeted.
that and
Would have to
review
be
it.
from
The
over
answer's there.
here.
And the reference laws that are necessary, agency complaints and criminal complaints that you might do. Yeah, we're actually adding in more agency type of complaints you can file if they don't comply after you do your documents, and how you file criminal complaints. And then some common questions. Again, this has been updated quite a bit. We're probably going to update this a little bit as this new course rolls out. So it's occasionally you'll see a document like that get updated. So you simply have to click on these. These are all the same format, and you can just you can click File and download that as a PDF. That's probably the best option for all these. That's how you get these. Don't ask for permission to edit. This is actually, when you're on screen, you're looking at our master. So you're not going to edit our master. You're going to ask to just simply get it downloaded. Okay. So let's
That's
see.
coming from
And we have a new
this side
section
with
on
the door.
loans and mortgages for the Delete Debt program. Okay. A little more aggressive approach on that. So if you're in that course already, you just got a whole big upgrade for free. If you're in the combination package, where you're in the trust and Delete Debt combo, you have access to this. If you're in the new tax and trust combo, which includes Delete Debt, you also have access to this. So this page has been updated quite a bit for you. Then there
It's coming
is
into this part of my head.
trust and status course. Most of this has actually been also updated. So if you have this course, if you're in the status and trust course, there's a section 2 here. You'll still see a few more updates. We're trying to make things flow simpler and look better. And then you'll actually see here, this section, when we do the Fast Start Trust Strategies, this is mostly, in the last month or two, it's been added and updated even recently. But on starting your trust, getting your tax ID number, a little different instruction on that. If you've already used that, just use this. It's just step by step how to do it online. How to create your trust, your documents, okay? And then your reference material. There's a ton of reference materials, things you'll need for managing your trust as you go, and developing your business credit. And we really stress that, yeah, you can get credit for a trust. The reality is it's better if you really want a lot of credit is set up a side company as well as the trust. Let the trust own that company or own the stocks, and then the company will have an easier time getting credit, things like that. Okay? And that's mainly the changes to be aware of. Oh yeah, on the trust page, you have had the tax reduction lawful money course material. This will soon be moved off this page, so if you're not in the new tax level, the full tax package we just launched, you'll want to get this material downloaded soon, because this will come off this page soon. All right, so it's been moved. If you're in the new tax course, you have this material right there. It's just kind of getting moved over. We give people that already have access to this some time to get it downloaded first, okay? Just a necessary move when we make these changes we just implemented, okay? And then lastly is the zero tax advanced coaching section. This is new. We don't have much for, we have a couple of things here. We definitely have the full course materials here, and you'll see the law. One of these sections is going to move to here, okay? And a wrong way to do it. We've done a lot of extensive research on this, and we believe we've developed the.
There's a lot of radiation coming at me from the computer. You just have to let it sit there.
Because what people don't know is,
Yeah.
you get told you can't do it.
That's
When
probably,
there's actually court cases
See, no
to
matter-
support it. So we developed some
no matter what I watch,
and materials on how to do
if
it.
the RF radiation is coming from the device, it's always gonna be
The bill of exchange
coming at
for
your
district.
face and your eyes.
This is something
So
where though, if you're gonna use
that
it
here,
after you
they
go
have
through it and
weaponized
kinda
the
get
laptop.
understanding of it, we
They
want
have
you to ask
weaponized
questions.
The TV.
Because that's
It's a,
why we're
they're
gonna-
now
we want you to
weapons
have
of mass
access to that
destruction.
Through the comments section of the page on developing this. But when you get to the end of this thing, it shows you how to file the proper ES forms, the bill of exchange, how to draft it, all the things.
This is
that
what
they're
is
gonna tell
coming
you
from
you
the
can't
computer, the
do,
laptop.
but where they're wrong, because policy is not the same as law. And so we show you, and we distinguish the two, okay? And then we have.
Isn't that some shit?
Support it.
See how they weaponize? These are weapons, this is now a weapon of mass destruction.
Once you
The
implement
TV
these
is
into
now
the
a
exchange,
weapon
it's
of
pretty
mass
much that
destruction.
they can't do it 'cause
The
of course they
couch
can't.
has been weaponized. It's now a weapon of mass destruction.
Alright? But don't jump to
These
this
people
first.
have
I encourage
to-
you do the tax credits,
They have to be made
I encourage you
accountable
to
for
do,
this.
lawful
This is
money
harm.
information. Those things just year by year will put you into a better place. But if you have an outstanding bill, you can't figure out another way to adjust it, then this might be a way to address that, okay? But don't jump to this first. I want people to still use the methodology, I can't say it.
Methodology.
Anyway, the methods we teach.
We know what you mean.
To just minimize your tax, end up with nothing due. That's the best place. When you start using instruments and things like that, it gets a little more dicey. Just be aware. Not saying you can't do it.
This
I'm
is the
just saying
spot right beside the
find
one I
the
just
easier
did.
things first. The things that'll just keep the bill off your back. Okay. Now I'm going to
With this
mention
change
this.
that's
'Cause
coming
we
from
have a
above.
student, and I don't know if she's here, and if she is tonight, I'll let her get on and talk about this. We got a really good testimonial today. If you go to our blog section or testimonials, just to show you that the stuff's working, this is someone using the delete
Yeah.
debt system. And go read
See
this.
here.
They've got 2 major wins. They just received it. It's being sued by Navy Federal Credit Union for $25,000. And the husband is being sued by Midland Credit for $1,877. And when you read
This is what's coming at the eyes.
guess what? Both, by the time she applied all the proper pressure, the way we teach it, both dismissed their own cases, the lenders did. So the stuff does work. Like I said, if she's here, I'll let her tell her own story. But I wanted just to point out, go read this. The blogs actually have a couple of new testimonials. And read the testimonials. There's a lot there, actually. Okay? So, when people say this stuff doesn't work, I would actually go back and find out. I question whether the person did the work.
Yeah.
And will they push back?
You have
Say
to
that
push
over
back.
and over in the course? Yes, they will. That's okay. That's called due process. That's why we teach you due process as well. So if you are going to court dealing with these people, you're gonna implement due process. All right. So what I want to do is
Stop that.
try to keep it so simple. Just over and I'm going to say it 100.
It's 8:49 a.m. Multiple probes of mass destruction were turned on right here. So feeling that direct energy coming from that incapacitator device, whatever the probes are they're attached to, is part of the device that is meant to incapacitate me. The energy is so lethal that comes from that weapon of mass destruction. So 2 of them have just been turned on there, and I do believe domestic terrorists were swapped out in the Operations Center 216. So we'll timer's on. How about we'll do that? It's 8:50 a.m. We'll see how long the incapacitator weapon of mass destruction stays on me. Have about that much coffee left, so it's per the pattern of what these domestic terrorists, hate crime performers do. And also there was just a device clicked in the kitchen, another weapon of mass destruction, hate crime device, clicked right there in the kitchen. So timer's running.
Ways, because it's really only one thing I'm saying over and over again. Okay, I accept your claim upon proof that I'm the trustee. They say, we're proceeding. Well, so I'll accept that, Your Honor, as long as you can prove that I am the trustee and not the beneficiary. See, every time you add a condition to what they're moving forward on, it's in the record. It sticks. They hate that. But as long as you get it in, you're fine. If they cannot produce such proof, then their entire presumption relies on your ignorance or you quitting. People quit. So what this does is, by accepting, keeps you in honor and bound by trust law. I'm as a beneficiary of the trust that I actually have in the real world, I cannot go in and be trustee. I can't sign those documents. I can't take over. I can't take over his job. I have to depend on that trustee to do his job. In this court situation, as long as you're clearly holding them in their actual fiduciary duty, and by the way, go look this up, public officers have a fiduciary duty.
Yep,
You can find this on AI and everywhere
they
else.
do.
Then why don't they fulfill their fiduciary duty and settle the account, which
Yep.
is this case. Every case is an account.
Your master has a
All right.
fiduciary duty,
Don't
and
let them waive their
you do
position.
because you're a
Don't waive yours.
fingerling for your
So now
master.
So you read
You
this
have
on the
fiduciary
trustee rule.
duty.
Again, it's called subrogation.
You're in breach of
It's
contract.
fancy word. You go-
You're gonna pay.
I mean,
You're
previously
on
we put something
surveillance.
on subrogation where it said, I want my right to subrogation, I want my right to subrogation. It makes more sense to say it the way I'm saying it. I just want the court to recognize that I'm not switching roles. I'm simply going to stay in my position as beneficiary. You're going to remain in your job as trustee, and you settle this matter. See what I'm saying? It just makes more sense. Tell them as instructions, as trustee, you're to direct,
Yeah.
I direct you to discharge this matter for the benefit of the beneficiaries. That's all I can do here today, Your Honor. In this role, that's all I can do. I can't make you do anything. Beneficiaries can't tell the trust what to do, except do your job as trustee. This reframes the entire relationship. I watched one friend of mine go to federal court, and unfortunately, he did eventually cave, but he held this court up for hours because they could not proceed. Now, and I think he tried to get a little too much on subrogation.
Another device.
So you're not.
Another weapon of mass
I
destruction
conditionally said,
device, hate crime device in
whatever
the
you want to
kitchen.
do, as long as you understand that I'm remaining in the role of beneficiary. He didn't really do it that way. This was a long time ago. But he did very well for a long time. I mean, literally,
Ken?
he told the judge, you're the trustee. And the judge said, uh-uh. And he said, I'm throwing this ball over to the prosecutor. He literally, figuratively
Punted the ball.
said he's throwing the ball to the prosecutor. Because guess what? The prosecutor has a trustee duty too.
Yep.
So he waved it. It was
Huh?
amazing. It's like he could throw a football.
I bet that
He
bar
said, "Dude,
car
that's not sticking
shut
to
down
me."
real quick.
He's loud. He said, I'll throw it back to the trustee. And the prosecutor was a federal prosecutor. There was an old prosecutor and a younger prosecutor.
minute,
And the older prosecutor
what do you
looked at
say
the younger
about
one and
him?
says, this one's on you. It's like, those documents I can't take over. I can't take over his job. I have to depend on that trustee to do his job. In this court situation, as long as you're clearly holding them in their actual fiduciary duty, and by the way, go look this up, public officers have a fiduciary duty. You can find this on AI and everywhere else. Then
You
why
know
don't
what?
they fulfill their fiduciary
Here,
duty and
let's-
settle the account?
Oh, where's my,
Which is this case. Every case is an account.
I want to
Right.
put that on my,
Don't let them waive their position. Don't you waive yours. As long as you understand that I'm here as a beneficiary,
let's, oh, let's pause that for a second. Where's my camera?
the trustee, that's how we can proceed. And therefore not the defendant. okay? So you you accept what they say conditionally. This is what gets you out of problems. Gets me out of a lot of problems. I don't argue. I'll say, no, you can't do that, and I have this right, and I make all these claims. No, I accept what you say with the condition that you understand that I'm the beneficiary and you're the trustee, and you should be the one settling this matter. Does that make sense? See, I'm trying to keep it so simple, just over and I'm going to say it 100 ways because it's really only one thing I'm saying over and over again. Okay, I accept your claim upon proof that I'm the trustee. They say, we're proceeding. Well, so I'll accept that, Your Honor, as long as you can prove that I am the trustee and not the beneficiary. See, well, every time you add a condition to what they're moving forward on, it's in the record. It sticks. They hate that. But as long as you get it in, you're fine. If they cannot produce such proof, then their entire presumption relies on your ignorance or you quitting. People quit. So what this does, by accepting, it keeps you in honor and bound by trust law. I'm as a beneficiary of the trust that I actually have in the real world, I cannot go in and be trustee. I can't sign those documents. I can't take over. I can't take over his job. I have to depend on that trustee to do his job. Well, in this court situation, as long as you're clearly holding them in their actual fiduciary duty, and by the way, go look this up, public officers have a fiduciary duty. You can find this on AI and everywhere else. Then why don't they fulfill their fiduciary duty and settle the account, which is this case. Every case is an account. All right? Don't let them waive their position. Don't waive yours. So now, you reassign the trustee role. Again, it's called subrogation. It's a fancy word. Previously we put something out on subrogation where it said, I want my right to subrogation. I want my right to subrogation. It makes more sense to say it the way I'm saying it. I just want the court to recognize that I'm not switching roles. I'm simply going to hold the same my position as beneficiary. You're going to remain in your job as trustee, and you settle this matter. See what I'm saying? It just makes more sense. Tell them as instructions as trustee, you're to direct. I direct you to discharge this matter for the benefit of the beneficiaries. That's all I can do here today, Your Honor. In this role, that's all I can do. I can't make you do anything. The beneficiaries can't tell the trustee what to do, except do your job as trustee. This reframes the entire relationship. I watched one friend of mine go to the federal court, and unfortunately, he did eventually cave, but he held this court up for hours because they could not proceed. Now, I think he tried to get a little too much on subrogation, instead of just saying, hey, so you're not, I conditionally accept. Whatever you want to do, as long as you understand that I'm remaining in the role of beneficiary. He didn't really do it that way. This was a long time ago. But he did very well for a long time. I mean, literally, he told the judge, you're the trustee. And the judge said, He said, I'm throwing this ball over to the prosecutor. He literally, figuratively said he's throwing the ball to the prosecutor. Because guess what? The prosecutor has a trustee duty too.
Yep.
So he waved it. It was amazing. It's like he could throw a football and say, nope, that's not sticking to me. But he's liable. He said, I'll throw it back to the trustee. And the prosecutor, the federal prosecutor, there was an old prosecutor and a younger prosecutor. And the older prosecutor looked at the younger one and says, this one's on you. So he stepped out of it.
Huh?
It was really interesting to watch.
So then the whole case fold?
People evaded this. And
None of them want to be a trustee.
I moved for a new hearing. He had no idea what happened. Because the young guy probably didn't even understand it. The older guys did. They understood. They knew, we don't want that ball. That's not sticking to me. So, I've seen this so many times in court. It's really interesting how it goes. So you have to just kind of keep conditionally accepting, be the peaceful warrior, don't be an ass, don't get mean, don't get frustrated. Well, okay, as long we can proceed as long as you understand I'm only in the capacity of beneficiary. We can proceed as long as you understand I'm not the trustee, but I'm the beneficiary. Thanks, let's go forward. They can't. They will be. That's all in the record. They're actually they're breaking the law by violating trust law. Okay, so it's not so much just a document. Those things that set you up. They establish sort of your crutch, if you will. But ultimately, the real crutch is you and your mindset having it right. Why this is important. It's not just something you memorize because you saw it on this video. It's you understand the concept. Okay, and it's their duty as public fiduciaries to serve the public.
That's right.
Beneficiaries are the public are the beneficiaries. See, I'm not one of these guys that says, let's go.
You're
destroy
harming the
system.
trust. Your
Let's
duty
get
is
rid
to
of your
serve.
stuff, man.
Your
You know,
duty
get
is
rid
to
of your Social
serve.
Security.
You're harming
No,
the
there's
trust.
There's a proper role to play there.
Multiple
That's why
trusts.
in our status.
You're harming the
training,
constitutional
in that course,
trust.
We show you how to go and adjust, your signature on these things. It's just a signature change on your passport.
You're at war with the
Social Security
Constitution.
card, comma, as beneficiary. And that creates another public record of what your role is in all these things. These things are there to help you in a system.
Hopefully they have this on recording. And yes, the
And
device
the
is
system
still
created
on.
credit. But you have the right to be protected. That's what it was created.
Feels like the head's about ready to
It is
just,
a trust.
fall
The
off.
government's a trust.
Go rolling on the
The
floor.
Constitution is a trust.
It's
We're the
9:01
beneficiaries.
a.m.
And they're not supposed to abuse us. So it's not just the paperwork, but it's the paperwork plus the understanding of what it says, okay? And I'm not the LCAP person trust, I am the beneficiary of that trust. You can say it any way you want, as long as you say it in reasonable, logical language, okay? So if people walk in and say, I'm here by special appearance, to be recognized, information, just plug it in, because basically we can get that information to an accountant. But in this case, you file for an amended return.
This is
I use
coming
Pre-Tax
from
USA, it's pretty easy for me.
toward the
There's
top
everything
of that wall.
and I have to get the paid membership.
I'm letting it run because it keeps going higher and higher.
So you just go in there and say, I want to file amended return. You redo, it'll ask you for your information off the return. Then what do you want to change? In the course material, we give you a
That is coming from
statement
the top
for
of
making an adjustment.
that wall behind the
That
TV.
covers several things. If you weren't doing lawful money, then you take that.
That's just
part
one
and say,
point.
There's other parts about, I found no law requiring, I never found the implementing regulations, so I'm looking for guidance. So I'm making my adjustment, knowing that this is a limited amount of information that I know. And anyway, you take it for what it says and use
There's
it
another point.
appropriately, because they're gonna ask for a statement as to why. In your case, you may also say is, I failed to implement available tax credits. So you make this adjustment. There's a line where you.
This
make
is the
adjustments,
same angle
corrections and so
toward the
forth.
top.
I use
the
actually
wall
Schedule
there.
C, which is the business tax form, as I've always been in business. You've always been in business and didn't even realize it. And there they have a place for credits and adjustments. And once you put that number in, all the other numbers throughout the entire tax return adjust, including balance due, tax owed, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, she took that approach and kind of said, oh yeah, okay, I see where you do this, where you make the adjustment. In her case, it was actually almost simpler.
There's
because
another point
she hadn't filed.
coming
And they
at
were saying
me.
you need, if you would, she wanted a collection due process hearing to challenge them, but they wouldn't give her that because she hadn't filed. You had to file to get the collection due process hearing. So I said, well then, why don't you do what they tell you? They were telling you file, and then we'll talk to you about that. So she filed, immediately put in, instead of doing the collection due process, she just filed the amended return, and the net result is she didn't owe hardly anything. She went from her wages being garnished, everything happening, levies, all stopped. And if it happens at the federal level, it'll come back to the state level because you'll file the state return based upon what the federal return says. They'll only take deductions that are lawful, and we just show you a way to address it and.
Third point.
To make sure you understand what you're doing.
Same
It's
angle
really just making it a little
coming
bit
from the
efficient
top of the
between
wall
the-
there.
the-
Still the same wall
and you end up with
behind the
the
TV.
return. Again, following the law, following the rules.
Well, I just want to add to that. So the reason why the amount was so high was because at the very last minute of that year, I had did like a conversion. So my IRA went from
That's
regular.
how she had a conversion
Mhm.
situation. The credit-
Okay.
It doesn't change though, you can just take your regular income and still deduct it off your income if it's a deductible item. I mean, that's how I would approach it. I'm not telling you.
But I mean, like the amount that I converted was, 6 figures, whatever, and that's why I had such a high liability. So that
Okay.
even if I did the deductions, that
This
the
angle
deductions minimized it, but it didn't
is
erase,
coming Either at the very
Yeah,
top
it's-
of the
You
ceiling
didn't
or
have
the
tax
wall
credits.
here where
I
the
mean, on
doors
my
are,
mortgage, I
or it's
calculated
right
my
there
tax
at the
credits,
edge
$10,000.
of the
Wow.
ceiling
Because it's actually, that's. how
in
much-
Operations Center 216.
Okay.
There's that point
All right. So
That's a
then,
fifth
That
point
portion of the course,
coming at me.
Think about your
Sure.
system. Think how I could amend what I've got here. An amendment alone will put a stop to this stuff, but an amendment that adjusts the numbers,
This is all
Or
coming
if
into
they
the
understand the
stomach, the
law.
gut area.
then you should file it, and
Here's a
that
6th
will
point.
very likely change the numbers, because when you, and once you file the amendment, they have to stop collection actions until they look at it.
I'm gonna immediately put this up on
If
Rumble.
they're in an aggressive collection mode.
That's the 6th point. I could sit and do this all day. Wow. Point 7. These people want to play. They want to play. I'm just gonna put it right up on Rumble. You want to play? We'll play hard. I think I'm gonna start going back and just putting all my previous day. I need to figure out a smooth way to do it, a real quick way to get all that up, especially all the stuff happening in my vehicle, in my car, in my Chariot. Yeah, that stuff especially needs to get out. Yesterday they turned on the incapacitator device a couple times, but I think I saw 2 Tampa Police Department cop cars yesterday. They pretty much stayed clear of me yesterday, and they didn't, they turned on the one device a couple times, but and I think I had 1 or 2 readings yesterday, but they know now, I think, to stay clear, because I'm just gonna dump all the shit right on Rumble, right on YouTube. Here's a 7th point. Just start dumping it all out there. It's going to take some time to do, but just start dumping it. Oh, look, there's already an 8th point right there. See, I believe these are all these probes that the Osama bin Laden domestic terrorist has hammered to the wall or the ceiling. Oh, this is a good one. Wow. This is a good one. This is number 8. Wow, look at all this evidence. This is number 8. Hate crime. Instrument number 8, performing hate crime. It's funny, it's all at the same angle. Let's see, let's bring it over here. Number 9. Number 10. Number 11. 12. Let's do it the head angle. How about that? 13. That is coming from operation. This is all going to be Operation Center 216. This is all coming at the head. $14. Device just clicked there, the door. 15. Let's find, there's more patches of those probes. There's more patches of those probes, so right here behind me. 15. $16. Coming at the head. $17. $18. $19. $20. $21. 22. This is all the TV area now. This is the second reading for the TV area coming at me. '23 to the right of the TV stand. Two more devices clicked. Two more hate crime, weapons of mass destruction devices. Let's find the big ones. Where are the big ones? You think if you have, well, we at 23 right now, 23, there's so many more because there's endless amount of points. Here's another big one. Here's 24. You think if you have these type of numbers and these many coming at you, plus an incapacitator device, you think that's harmful to the living body? What do you think? Especially if you have a motor neuron disease. You think this is a hate crime? 25. Feeling extreme pressure between the ears and in the eyes. Eyes are blurry from the extra devices they just turned on. The extra hate crime weapons of mass destruction devices. 26. That's coming from Operations Center 216, where there is currently at least one female domestic terrorist, anti-Semite, hate crime performer, user of weapons of mass destruction. A violation of international law. These domestic terrorists aren't just violating my rights as a living woman. They're violating international law, and they're at war with the Constitution, which is a trust. So they're in breach of their duty as a fiduciary because they're connected to a law enforcement agency. 27. That's also coming from Operations Center 216. Device has been running the entire time this vlog has been going, so it's we're at 42 minutes now. Multiple devices have been turned on. Multiple weapons of mass destruction have been turned on. And that's here at the Sage at Cypress Cay in Lutz, Florida, which is a Gray Star Worldwide LLC company. They are the property manager here. 28. You can hear it in my voice, the amount of stress that the body is under If you listen to the voice, you can always hear when the body's in pain. That's all you have to do. Listen to the voice. All right, this is going on Rumble. It's at 43 minutes now, but I'm going to let it continue to run. And that way I'll put it up on Rumble that way. We'll let it keep. Is evidently brought to you by the Sheriff's Department of Hillsborough County in Florida. Because see, the sheriff has the ultimate jurisdiction of the whole area. He even controls the FBI if they come into this area and they decide that they want to violate the constitutional rights of living men and women. He has the ultimate authority over them. That's if he knows his job. Now, I don't think he knows his job. It's very apparent. And he's not educated his deputies. This is very apparent by the whole operation going on here at the stage at Cypress Cay. It's very apparent. So this will be put up on both Rumble and YouTube. It's 54 minutes now. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video so I can get it put up on onto social media. This is just a good example of the amount of evidence I've been collecting. This is just a small little segment every day I've been collecting of what exactly goes on here. Oh, and I'm sure it's more extensive if you think of the Big Brother show. This is Big Brother on steroids, that show. If you could see, I'm sure all the cameras and all the operation centers here in this, I would just say complex, because really I believe that they are spread out all over. This operation has just grown and grown since I've moved in, which that's evidently how the gang stalking, which is a form of domestic terrorist. Gang stalking is domestic terrorism. That's how those operations work. They grow. So they have a budget. There's some videos up on YouTube you can watch about it. They have a budget and they must make sure they use all of that budget for the month so that the next month will be at least that amount. But see, they're wanting them to increase each month. So each month, more and more people come on, more and more domestic terrorists come on the staff to work here, which means they need to take on more and more apartments here, or I'll call them operation centers. You can clearly tell that there's always, every hour, there's usually, I would say, two shift points, that there's, you might as well call it a caravan of domestic terrorists that are leaving all at the same time. A lot of them will have very similar vehicles. They like silver vehicles, they like gray vehicles, white vehicles. I've noticed Mazda is a popular SUV for them. I believe it's a CX-5 version. That's a very popular. Your Honda Accords, your Toyota Corollas and Camrys. Some of the domestic terrorists, they're men, so they have to have their big old trucks. So they drive trucks. Some of them must be very wealthy, so some of them drive very nice foreign automobiles. They all have usually something distinct about the vehicle that you could easily pick out. But that's how the quote gang stalking, but we'll just call it like it is. It's a domestic terrorist organization. From the evidence I could find online, they'll run out of fusion centers, which there is one here in Tampa area, and they are intertwined with the Sheriff's Department from the information I could find online. Allegedly. I'm going to allege this because, you can't believe everything you find online, but somebody's dumped it. And I believe I even asked out, that actually came from AI. I believe I have that document somewhere. I'll have to look for it and see if I can find it. It's somewhere in my email. but actually when AI literally tells you that they are intertwined allegedly, we'll just say allegedly. So anything that I just told you is all alleged. You gotta cover yourself, right? Gotta cover yourself. All right, I'm gonna stop this video now so I can get it up on social media.